Danganronpa.
Greetings. I'm Morgan Titian. Welcome to the stream. Speaking of Morgans, my cat named Morgan is being a little bit of a brat. If you're being up on the desk, you're laying down, buddy. No standing in front of the mic. Alrighty. So yes, welcome to the stream. Today, as usual, and as you can probably hear in the background, we are doing Danganronpa. Got my fresh cup of water. Fresh hydration. I've got the game all loaded up. And everything else should be good to go. And of course, that one sip I took almost went down the wrong tube. Alrighty. And I'm going to make sure I should have done this earlier. No, cat, get out of my drink. Water's not for you. Your water's over there. And yes, Mixer is online and working. Perfect. Make sure everything's working here. Turn up my headset. There we go. Okay, you might notice that my avatar looks a bit jaundiced right now. And that's actually, you'll see why in just a moment. As I switch us over to the game screen. All right. So I forgot, like, completely. I've had this set up since before last Halloween. And I used it for Halloween and haven't used it since. But this is a little feature. It's basically dynamic lighting. So right now I look jaundiced because the menu is all yellow. As soon as I exit, you will see the colors shift. Basically, whatever's on my main screen, which is the game screen, will be reflected onto my avatar. Okay, cat, lay down. You're not listening at all, are you? Well, that's a cat for you. There. Now he's laying down. And if he gets up again, he's getting kicked off. Oh, would you look at that? He got up again. All right. So we're going to hop right into it because I'm kind of excited but also nervous to see what happens. Well, I say get right into it, but I figured might as well just do a recap. So far, the story thus far, and you know, everybody should be coming into this fully aware. These are going to be spoilers if you have not played the game before or seen it played before. I am doing this mostly blind myself, but I will be giving recaps at the start of each session. I'm keeping the titles of my streams spoiler-free just in case, but the actual contents of the stream will have spoilers. That being said, all of us are currently trapped, and by all of us, I mean 15 students, are currently trapped in Hope's Peak Academy, where we are being essentially detained by a crazy psycho robotic bear who wants to see us kill each other, essentially. He tries to dress up the fact that, actually killing somebody and getting caught is against the rules and you get punished by it, but he also gives us incentives, motives, to actually kill each other. Because we could just live here peacefully for the rest of our days, according to Monokuma, but the only way to get out of here is to graduate, and to graduate you have to kill somebody and get away with it. So, yeah. He's kind of hypocritical, saying it's against the rules and encouraging it. The first death that we saw was actually, I'll bring up the, so you guys can actually see it, F1, and you can see my lighting changes here. Bring up the report card. So, first death was Sayaka Maizono. She was also our first friend at Hope's Peak Academy. None of us really know each other, but apparently the main character and Sayaka knew each other from middle school. But she was the first death. Shortly after she died, where is she here? Junko also died because she assaulted Monokuma, the headmaster, the crazy psycho bear, and got killed for it. So she died as well because breaking any of the rules results in punishment, which usually involves death in a horrible way. After the first investigation and class trial, we discovered that Leon Kuwata was the one responsible for Sayaka's death. So he got executed because he was caught. If we didn't find out it was him, all the rest of us would have died, and he would have gone on to live. Now, the really bad thing right now is that my favorite character in the game, Chihiro, was the next victim. So, why is she not showing up as dead? We already know she's dead. Well, she has died, and we have done the investigation portion of her death, and we are about to go into the class trial. My current guesses is... the game is heavily hinted that it was Toko Fukawa who did it. My actual guess, or rather hope, is that it's Byakuya Togami who did it, because he is an enormous prick, and keeps saying that, we're not supposed to be working together, what's the benefit for him, blah, blah, blah. Because he's the obvious, bait and switch, oh, look, it was really this guy who did it, I don't think it's actually him. I think it's somebody else, and I think we're going to find out during this trial, because we're going to get other testimonies. But I really hope it's him. As much as I would like to see Toko out of the picture, because Toko's also one of those ones who's just... She's so aggravating. Not that I necessarily want her to die, I just don't want her to be in the game. But yeah, Byakuya could go suck it. So that is where we are at. We are about to go into the class trial. We have received 2 motives so far. The first one, to encourage us to kill each other, was revealing what's happening in the outside world for our families, or our friends, or whatever we care about. And that is what actually drove Sayaka to attempt to kill Leon, who was then able to turn it around on her. The second motive was embarrassing secrets from earlier in life. The main character's was that he wet the bed until 5th grade. Honestly, not the worst secret. So if they're all like that, then that's pretty lame. But I highly suspect that some of the other people's secrets were a lot more damning than that, and that's why they're willing to kill over it. So we are about to head in, and we will see who killed the sweet bean that is Chihiro and bring them to justice. So just gotta fix something on OBS. Apologies. All right, so is everybody ready to go? In a single moment here. Setting this up. One sec. If you're wondering, I like lurking for my friends while I am streaming as well. So I just set them up because Jamie Lasana streams at the exact same time I do on Wednesdays. So just setting that up. All right. That being said, let's get into it and find out who did it. We've got a bunch of what's known as truth bullets. The actual file itself. Chihiro, time of death, around 2 a.m. Discovered in the girls' locker room on the second floor of the school. Cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object, which killed her instantly. We've got accounts from Sakura and Mondo. There's a dumbbell with blood on it. For some reason, their blood is all neon pink. Information about the card readers, where you need an e-handbook for that specific room. So boys for the boys' change room, girls for the girls' change room. We found out that the handbooks for all the other students who have passed on, so in this case, Leon, Sayaka, and Junko, are all in the main hall in the mailbox. One of them was broken. Case file for Genocide Jack, which is the way the scene was set up for Chihiro's death, which closely resembled Genocide Jack's killing style. And also, it's suspected that Genocide Jack is a school-age student, a student in essence, because of the types of killings or the times of killings. Awie's accounts, information from the boys' locker room carpet, the posters from the 2 locker rooms, Chihiro's handbook missing, how the dead body was found, the stain that was in the girls' locker room is no longer there. Desk lamp had a cable used to power it, that it was used to tie up Chihiro's body. You can see it in her hand. Celeste's account, and that is about it. So we got a bunch of information on what may have caused it. And we are about to go through the door to start the trial. So, is everyone ready to... What? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's nodding. Huh? And Toko is... You really don't remember?
Come on!
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. Although I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you'd drag a girl around. Terrible, you're terrible. So, now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle onto the elevator and let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. That murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. Shadows. You ready? Are you doing this?
Well then.
I will uncover the villain who performed such heinous acts on a weaker individual. I see you hiding back there.
Shall we go?
Shall we begin? I don't know why the killer did what they did, but I'm sure it'll work itself out. Justice always prevails. Right, bro?
How very
Miss
sad.
Vitade. I must admit it. For being 3D, she was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe.
Hey, come on.
Fucking Toko, man. What's got her so worked up? That's a mood, honestly. There's something odd about Toko's behavior. I do not think mere shock is enough to explain it. I guess there wasn't much help at all on this one. I gave you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. I talked with everyone. Alright. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. He gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I can feel my heart shaking, starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. Couldn't get a handle on my emotions. Couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, it continued to descend without hesitation, until finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated! Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very
Good. You're rip-raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
well.
Okay, then. Let's get this show on the road.
Thrills,
Everyone,
chills,
please find your
kills.
assigned seats. And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Yeah, I'll go ahead and save. Save back onto slot 1 here. Alright, yeah, I don't need to do anything with that. I want to set some skills. Increases the influence gauge by 2, effective during the class trial. I'll go ahead and equip that. We've got lots of SP right now. Increases the speed of memorizing a statement effective during a non-stop debate. Go ahead and do that. That is from Chihiro. And that is all I have. So I suspect if I played my cards right, I could have more skills by now.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
His voice sounds a bit different right now. First, we have to make clear what we use to deliver the fatal blow. Make your argument.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Sure was.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Dumbbell. You think you have some proof that contradicts what I said?
Shoot!
What? I was saying what it was.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
Sometimes I don't get how
It
this
appears
game
it was a head
what's the
wound.
right answer, what isn't.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Oh, that's what it's
Interesting.
I hit it!
That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Oh my god. Flippin' missed.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
I'm the best.
It
at this game,
appears
don't
it
worry.
was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting.
Why won't
That
it let me
certainly
shoot?
would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor.
Okay, how do you... Oh, space to concentrate. I think I had to concentrate for that one.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Hit it that time. Break!
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime?
I mean, I can agree, but I'm the one who brought it up.
It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
I mean, in an investigation, you have to look at all the facts.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is
shut
already
up.
quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element of the anti-nonstop debates. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep the white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all, in which case you can forget about the silencer and just focus the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck, have fun! I can't remember what it's set to, but it might be set to gentle just because I'm in a... Make your arguments. Genocide Jack case file.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong!
I think we have to go along the lines of this Genocide Jack.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now.
Convenient for you.
More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
Oh my...
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, has to do with the positioning of the body.
I got
How
it!
they're positioned.
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
I still like how the pictures on the side there just vibrate with intensity.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What?
Oh, the game sounds like really loud right now. Holy shit. I apologize for that. Alright, that should be good for normal volume, and when they scream, it should go into the yellow, so that should be fine. Considering my volume is normally in the yellow, and if I do go louder, it goes in the red. That should be good.
Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko but also not be Toko, the answer is that she's not just one person but multiple people, right? Hangman's Gambit. Yeah. What? Should totally be the S for schizo. Oh, I had to hit it twice. Okay, so the orange ones you had to hit twice. Got it.
Now I understand. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
I'm not so sure about that. It could be proof enough that she's got some sort of mental issue going on, especially if, it's a PTSD type issue, but that doesn't mean split personality off the outset. We need more evidence than just that.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine. Yeah. Oh, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? Yeah. She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top, ending, and a bottom, and a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, to drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story.
1 second here. My model's all messed up. Oh, it's off center. One moment. Oh, that's centered. Oh, well, you can see that I've got two of me. That's the real secret behind the dynamic lighting. Okay, 1 sec. Fixing it. That should be better there. And that should be good there. Yeah, it should be centered to the chat window. Maybe down a little bit more too, so my hair doesn't cover too much. All right. Sorry about that.
She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
He's an asshole.
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that.
She's really down bad for this guy.
But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person?
What is with that face?
You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. Huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see? What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Okay, that was not how I was expecting that to turn out.
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality.
just the way she speaks, maybe it's just a common thing with crazy characters. Maybe not crazy people intentionally, but like characters that are portrayed as crazy. She sounds a lot like Jinx from League of Legends, either from the game or from the show Arcane. Maybe it's just a common trope. Hey, welcome to the stream. Raid. Oh, I actually have to scroll up to see all the lovely raid messages. Yeah, raid. Yay. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Gonna give a shout out for Poochie here. Last doing some art. I'm actually going to mute this up a little bit. Hold on a sec. And take us over here. Just so that I can say hi to everyone. But how's it going, Poochie? I hope your stream was well. I wasn't able to catch it because I got home a bit late from work today. I had some car issues yesterday and was without a vehicle today. I had to take the bus, so got home just in time for stream. But yeah, I hope your stream was well. What were you making in art? Many. You did a lot of art today. Okay. Well, I'll have to check the VOD out to see what y'all created. I like following artists on Twitch because I get to see different people's techniques. Joel, Zathy, and Poochie. Nice. I'm not sure who Joel is, but I definitely know Zathy and Poochie. For those who are not familiar, I've never been able to get it to work. But I would like to eventually get a shout-out, clip highlight, so I can show people what other people's channels are like when they come into Raid. It's just not working very well for me, and I'm not sure why. It works as a browser source, but it doesn't work in OBS for some reason. So I had to keep trying to figure that out. But I don't think I can pull it up right now. You know what I'll try and do is I'll try and get it set up so I can bring it up easily just as a manual process. But yeah, I'll have to check out your art. But quick message to all the raiders, and one of the reasons why I switched screens here. We are playing Danganronpa, which is a very it can be an intense game. Let's say that. There is actual murder and investigation of said murders going on, as well as executions for the one who done it. So if that is not the type of game that you want to say, no worries. Or not to say, want to see. I can speech, I swear. No worries at all. I totally understand. And thank you guys for coming. But gotta take care of yourself first. So if that's not a game that you want to see or not something you can handle, I do encourage you to maybe find another streamer, just because this specific game, it can deal with a lot of heavy themes and subjects. So I just want to make sure that everybody is, keeping themselves safe first and foremost. That being said, for anybody who does want to stick around, hello, I am Morgan Titian. I am a changeling VTuber. I'm in a form specific right now for the game. This is modeled after the main character. And the reason why the character's model looks a bit weird right now, I'll actually turn that off for a second. Boop. This is how it normally works. I've got what's known as dynamic lighting, so whatever is shown on the screen is reflected on me. Just trying it out again after a while of not using it and forgetting about it, to be honest. But yeah, I've got many forms. All the ones you see on the wall over there are forms that I can change into, and I have commands set up through Stream Elements because I do not have affiliate enabled. If you would like to see the commands, you can just go !commands, and it will give you a link of all the commands that are available. Some of them cost points, some of them are free, and I also have sound alerts in the panels below if you would like to use those as well. All right, that being said, all that dealt with, I think we can head on back to the game. For those who want to stick around, welcome, welcome. For those who want to move on, thank you so much for coming, and thank you, Poochie, for the raid. I understand as well if you have to get going after your stream. I know how it is being tired out, getting snacks and whatnot. But thank you again. So we are going to switch back to the game. And I will actually turn this back on. So yeah, what you'll see here is whatever is the primary color scheme of the game right now is what's going to be reflected on me. Okay, so we are currently going through the second class trial of Danganronpa, the first Danganronpa game, because there are a total of 3 main games and then a few offshoots. And we just found out that one of the characters, Toko, has a split personality, and we're getting her testimony for the class trial as to what happened. Oh no, you lost all your coins again there, Prax. Hopefully you can earn some back. Oh. Shit. I should have unmuted that manually. My bad. My bad. This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Oh, wow! Oh, that face! Oh my god! I thought Junko had a huge mouth, but man! This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane!
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question? What's up?
She even just smiles with her tongue out. And like, her tongue somehow gets longer when she transforms personalities. Like, look at that! Jesus.
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Hey, Stillborn. Welcome on in. Playing some Danganronpa here. We just encountered Genocide Jack or Genocide Jill. Oof.
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
Is that Peter Griffin?
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
Wow, she is off the wall crazy.
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
What motive? Other than just wanting to kill.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
Winnie the Pooh go emo. That's Monokuma and that's a robotic bear, but yes, I totally get what you mean there. Have you never seen the Danganronpa series? I've been playing through the first game the last few Wednesday streams here. This is only the second class trial. If this is your type of game, then maybe go, pick it up or something. I think it's on sale, or at least it was when I bought it. But it's also a fairly popular game to stream. It's got a bit of a cult following. I know Wineria has also played it a bunch. She's replaying it right now as well on Sundays.
But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is the first game in the series, and I'm going through it mostly blind. I know a couple of select spoilers, just because I've seen the third game and just spoilers from the internet. But I'm not sharing what I know, and the rest of it I'm going in blind. So hopefully everybody else can enjoy it as I just so pay attention to the... Yeah, that's fine. That's totally understandable as well. But yeah, hopefully with me going through it blind, people can enjoy my reactions to it.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah, I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Do you know if the game is the same every time you play, or are there variations? I think the variations come about with who you interact with, so it changes what skills you get, because you get skills by interacting with people. Now, obviously, I can't get any skills anymore from Chihiro, Sayaka, or from Leon, because they're dead. So any skills that they had, I wouldn't be able to get anymore. So the skills are definitely different depending on who you talk to. I think all the trials are in the same order, though. But again, I'm not sure. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. Well, she said, let me get more details about all this. Just gameplay elements change. Yeah, I think so. Status of the dead body is my only bullet. Okay.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
I'm not meaning to do that.
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
Oh, I get seconds for
When
doing
you
that.
compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof
I missed.
do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
No? Yeah, I just have to focus on remembering Chihiro's body. That must have the answer. That should prove what she said isn't quite right.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Not great.
No, that's wrong.
Tongue's probably dry. Probably. Yeah, the story and who dies and all that should still be the same, as far as I know.
Really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
That's true.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
Spot on with the localization there. Good job, guys.
This is no creation of mine.
Just self-hydrating.
Let me rephrase that. in a way that maybe makes more sense.
Yeah.
There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. The photos from the other Genocide Jack cases look at the neck and the stomach. Here you see a difference. Victim's fatal injury.
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Someone should tell him murder is illegal and not an actual profession. They're crazy, so I don't think it matters to them.
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Oh, shut up, Hifumi.
Wouldn't it
Just
be
trying to
strange
sound
for
smart.
someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Wow, she is legitimately insane.
Please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Uh-huh. How they suspended. Of photos in the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here, you'll see the difference. What was used to suspend her?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
Skizzers.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement!
What's with that face?
Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Big Mac. Makoto is one of the shortest characters in this series.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's
Oh,
actually one more difference.
I forgot to turn off the auto thing here. Boop. Boop. Ignore that. That is my preparation for something else on the side that you guys will be able to hear about shortly. We need to go to Stream Elements. Give me one moment. Turn that off. Press some commands. Turn that off. All right. Done and done. All fixed. Glimpse behind the curtain for a moment there. Haha, yes. Lore-wise, this is edgier than Ace Attorney. Yes. Although, unlike Ace Attorney, we don't kill people with the same thinker statue clock several times. But yeah, the thing that was glimpsed behind the screen is something that I hope to announce fairly soon. If all goes well, I should be able to post it up on the Discord this weekend. If you guys would like to join, my Discord is right there. Yeah, as a hint, it involves Minecraft. That's about all I'll post for now. Anyways, continue on. Another difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you notice is, I think I figured it out. Why she couldn't have killed Chihiro. Definitely because she's her lover.
Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Dang it, Morgan, you gotta activate affiliate so I can conduct a hype train all over you. Yeah, but in order to activate affiliate, because I did look into it. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to announce this today. I did look into it specifically for today because today is my 6-month streaming anniversary. I started September 16th, so that's exactly 6 months ago today. And I looked into it, and right now anyways, I don't feel like giving my tax information, including my SIN number, to the US government, because that's what I essentially have to do. I have to fill out a specific tax form, send it to Twitch, which includes stuff like my SIN number, which then gets sent to the TSA for the US. I get why they have to do that, but I don't really feel like doing that. At least not right now. Maybe I'll change my mind in the future. Maybe if the price of gas and all that keeps going up and, you know, I have to make some extra money, I might do it. But yeah, right now, like I was looking into it, in order to actually get the payouts, you actually have to, or not TSA, IRA, yes. Or IRS, rather. In order to get the payouts, you have to fill out an IRS tax form, and you have to put in stuff like your SIN number. Because that's how they apparently attribute the tax. In my opinion, if they are operating in Canada, they should have a Canadian office where they file that with the Canadian government, but they don't. So, right now, I don't feel like giving the states that kind of information. They might already have similar information, but they definitely don't have my SIN number. Because only a very select few places, i.e. places I have actually worked, and the Canadian government, and I think that's about it, have ever had my SIN number. And I realize SIN number is a bit of a misnomer because it stands for social insurance, social insurance number, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, because I was contemplating activating affiliate for my 6-month anniversary, which would have been today. But when I started looking into that about 3 weeks ago, I was like, no, not right now. Not worth it. At least not for me. For other people, it very well might be worth it. And you know what? Go for it. It's just personally, no, not happening. But I did look into it. I was seriously considering it. And if it didn't require that, then I would have activated it for today. And today would have been the first day of affiliate. But what can you do? All right, Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gyaku, 23. Kano Issei, 14. Takeshi Yoshida, 30. Komasuna Taro, Tikfumo, so on and so on. There's no end to it. They are all males.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it.
Oof.
But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged man madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Ah, put him in his place! Yes!
Lowly cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
When the insane one is the one making sense, you know you're in trouble.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors.
Do you even have any of those?
Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Oof.
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
This is, the first live 2D motion capture right there.
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention,
The cat's
I have
being
no
a
clue
little
how
shit
to tie
again.
a good knot! So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
I mean, innocent of this particular killing, not innocent overall. Let's get that straight.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Well, the police and Byakuya.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. Oh, I get to select someone. Where are you, you little shithead?
Here's my
Bang.
answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Yep.
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Yep. Wow. I don't know for sure, but I hope it was him so we can get rid of him.
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Whoa.
Well, Byakuya,
Both of them are
what's your
after
response?
Byakuya.
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me.
Sure does, you little
Then I
shitface.
must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
In the locker rooms, they're suspicious, very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it?
I like how Celeste is still in her last pose that she was changed to. So she's just sitting there all wide-eyed staring forward forever until she gets her next line.
Go ahead, share with the
Look
rest
at
of
that.
the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said, and I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. Next, we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, and then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. I'm pretty sure the narrator is supposed to be Monokuma. Make your arguments. Monokuma file number 2.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out...
How do you initiate a flashback? Okay. So you select the yellow text and click and hold, and then you load that as a weak spot. Jared Leto Joker is probably most of these characters' inspiration. Like Joker from like the Batman? I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the Batman series. I think it's way overdone. Honestly, I think the Batman is kind of a bland character overall. Joker is one of the most interesting characters from that series, though. I don't watch most of the movies.
That's a natural reaction for any guy.
Why is his voice so
The victim
changed?
was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I
Suicide
would
Squad.
suggest we
Okay.
check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Hearing Byakuya's comment about Chihiro being a girl, I realized there's a clear contradiction there. So it doesn't make sense how he could have known before he'd even found it. And make another contradiction clear.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
You absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
No,
I'll try that.
it's wrong.
It's considered the
I'll
worst
tell you
Joker.
what's so
Okay.
strange about that.
Also, Suicune Squad is like a variation of the Suicide Squad set in the Johto region of Pokemon, where they all theme themselves after Suicune. Sorry, I had to pause and read that after the non-stop debates, just because it's time. You can't pause it like you can this style of conversation.
Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was.
That's true.
So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Oh, shut the fuck up, dickhead.
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. Got him cornered, but he's acting like he has nothing to do with
What's the
him.
matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is, I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Difference between this case and the other Jack murders. Evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible hidden in there? What could it be? Guess we'll find out. Library desk and lamp.
What?
The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope, was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life. Obviously,
missed.
somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
Yeah,
The
give
difference
me
between
hints.
the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope, was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Was it really a rope?
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Nailed it.
No,
And I got the
it's wrong.
extra second from the other stuff. From the noise.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Yee.
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you?
BRB switching to PC. Yeah, no worries.
And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder.
Ooh. Can I just say that the actual wire for the lamp looks so out of place? Like, it almost looks like it has a different art style than the rest of the scene.
And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
You lack imagination, my friend.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned, as if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Shut the fuck up, I'm thinking!
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right?
Pretty anti-violence,
Byakuya's the
but most of
killer.
these characters seem pretty punchable. Byakuya is very punchable.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Kiyotaka is pretty alright. He can be intense, but it's just because he's straight-laced. Nothing wrong with that. Makoto is just Makoto. He's the main character stand-in, is what my current model looks like, so can't really fault him for anything.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already
Yasuhiro is
decided who
mostly
did
just
it.
annoying. I'd probably give him a punch, yeah.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you?
Your face. Let me punch it.
I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room. What does that mean? Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? I don't think so. It's definitely something with what he said. Scene of the crime.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
Yep.
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was
Shove it
found
up your
dead
ass.
in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that's where she was killed.
How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Okay, Cat, gotta get out of the way.
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
I mean, it sounds ridiculous when you say it like that.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
Welcome back.
I believe I do.
Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident until now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
I'll show you the proof. Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There's something in that switch between the boys' and girls' locker rooms. Boink.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
It's more than that.
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I don't know, maybe some of them are into girls?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys'
What was
locker
the point of
room
that
had
interjection?
a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
Well, you're just perpetuating, gender role stereotypes. You gotta be a little bit open, man.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
This sounds gross.
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away.
Makoto discovers lesbians exist. 2022, colorized. Exactly.
In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
Because there's blood on the carpet.
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible. Don't you think?
I clicked too soon.
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
That's a good question.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
Not quite two.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Uh-huh. Make your argument. Broken e-handbook.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Yep.
Ah, I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook.
No.
She was the ultimate programmer after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
Probably
No,
not.
I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong.
I don't think I should have clicked that one, but maybe.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
Were the doors unlocked? No, they're all locked. Monokuma specifically made it so that the you have to swipe your handbook, and people were not allowed to lend their handbooks to others. That was should be in the regulations. Just saw it. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. So that doesn't mean that you can't use somebody else's handbook, but loaning it is prohibited.
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one.
I just had to constantly fix my model here.
In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts glaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room. Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? Still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second.
Ooh, Kyoko in for the save.
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What? What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
No?
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Togami seems like he'd be a gatekeeper.
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial
Maybe.
more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. Where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully?
Oh
Like
my god, you
using
pervert!
our hands?
No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very
creeped
well.
out.
I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
What difference does that make?
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her.
That is probably true.
So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
I mean, Sakura and Chihiro were pretty close.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
Who invited you?
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What?
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
What's got you bent all out of shape? Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy.
What?
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
My name is Celestia Ludenberg. Hey! Wow, wouldn't you know it? We got a Celestia Ludenberg in here, and I am in the form of Makoto Naegi. Welcome to the stream. Also, that's a penis.jpg. Yep. She's going Super Saiyan. Yeah. That's probably an appropriate reaction.
You're joking, right?
I'm not sure if it's so much transphobia as just utter shock that somebody like Chihiro could be a boy. Just based on how she acted, how she presented. Like, in other words, she was very convincing.
I wouldn't joke about this.
It's very understandable to suddenly find out, oh, wow, you were actually, someone well, not someone completely different, but like some completely different gender. I had no idea. It's a pretty big revelation, but I'm not sure if it's transphobia necessarily. It's also very anime. I'm saying it might not necessarily be transphobia, but it actually probably is. Considering Japan, especially when this game was made, it's a little bit better now. But Japan is very traditional for a lot of that stuff. Their LGBT support, not saying their community is there, but support for that kind of stuff is nowhere near where it should be, or where the rest of the world, or some parts of the world is. But it borders the line, yeah. So, I mean, it's not that it's necessarily an excuse, but I can see why this would be such a big twist. And this was one of the few spoilers I actually knew about this game going into it.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy? Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Then he was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting.
It does set up a few other things, though, for the trial.
Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. I do
apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
I will share this as well, Stillborn, because I know about this from spoilers. Chihiro, as a character, but wasn't actually transgender. He was actually just straight up a cross-dresser. He doesn't think of himself or feel that he's female or anything like that. He just, well, it'll explain later, but there is a reason why he was cross-dressing, but not actually presenting or not actually transgender. There is a reason for it. So, just because, I know the game is misgendering Chihiro, or seems to be misgendering Chihiro right now by saying, she was he. And no worries, they're stillborn. There's no way you could have known. It's just, I know from spoilers. But there is a reason, and the character, even though the character is just, the result of writers. But if it makes it feel any better, the character himself, I guess, stumbling over my words, character himself still viewed himself as a male, but just cross-dressed for other reasons, which is totally acceptable.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
That's what you find so shocking?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
Wow. I can just feel the judgment coming from this asshole.
This is the most titillating situation!
Yeah, feel free to, totally hate on Byakuya for being such a prick, by the way.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it.
Hold on a second. I had to deal with my cat. He's being a little shithead, aren't you? I've got my monitors up on monitor arms, which is super convenient for, freeing up desk space and getting them up out of the way and keeping them at the right height ergonomically. But my cat loves reaching up and stretching and bracing himself against the monitor, which then causes it to move, obviously, because it's on arms. And, ends up pulling out cords and stuff like that. So I have to discourage him from doing that every time he does. He does it less and less, but he still does it every now and again. So I don't like having to spray him with water, but that seemed to be the only thing that's worked so far.
But
Thanks for following. Don't rail William. Welcome to the encounter. Hey, Tinsara, welcome to the stream. No worries about being AFK, that's totally understandable. Or is that Don Trail William? I'm not actually sure. Yeah, it's about to be punishment time. If I've said your name correctly or incorrectly, feel free to let me know or correct me, and hopefully I can say it properly next time. In the meantime, I think I'll just call you William, but welcome to the encounter. I'm Morgan Titian. I am a changeling VTuber, and right now I'm in the form of Makoto Naegi, specifically for the Danganronpa stream. But welcome on in.
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
Damn it.
What?
I saw this coming.
You the one who accused him in the first place?
Yeah, I was.
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
That'd be a good way to act, though, if you really were the killer.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
At least he's just a really good actor.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
You're such a insufferable prick.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
He just so happens to go into the girls' locker room. Nice.
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Wow, he can't even bring himself to swear as if that's beneath him.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
This trial confused you? Yeah, understandable. Togami would probably try pulling an actual Uno reverse card in an actual court. Probably, yeah.
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's the stakes.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway,
yeah, a little bit slow is what you are.
As a group one more time.
That's very true.
I clicked too soon. My apologies. One more time. We still have time to make her decision. Yes.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
How about you resume shutting the fuck up? But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murderer, which means the killer is a guy.
I got it!
Since the crime scene was in the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. Now, that's still not enough. We need to find more clues. Does narrow it down by about half. Celeste's account. Okay.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
Nobody was
If
there.
someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yep.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
You got it. Come on, Mako, don't scare me like that. Makes me think something weird is going. The new info is the. Oh. Game is weird sometimes.
Shoot!
Cat is in the way. And just wanted to say there, William, I do appreciate that you're engaging with the sound alerts, but I do ask that you don't overuse them. I do have them on there for free so that everybody can enjoy using them, but just playing them all back to back to back. It's if you could just make them. What's the word I'm looking for? Use them in moderation. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Just so that it doesn't interrupt stream too much. But I do appreciate that you are engaging. Alright, I'll have to get through this
Isn't there
again.
a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
No, that's wrong.
That's where I wanted to use it.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right
All very
before
unique
nighttime.
looking, so I'm pretty sure if someone
I
saw
saw
the murder,
Chihiro
they'd know who it is.
in
Exactly.
the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems like
Very
that the
intense
culprit
hair.
destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Just because he couldn't go into the girls' locker room.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much.
Who else did Chihiro trust?
Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship!
You stay out of
The
this.
point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You just need to believe.
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
Someone let someone of the other gender in? No, because that would count as loaning your e-handbook, which is strictly prohibited.
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from.
Yep.
Do
Sure.
you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow it's really hard to believe. Just taking a drink of water. Celeste's account. I
First
forget
of
what her
all,
account
we
was.
know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Yeah.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
Maybe.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit.
Would one even fit?
This exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a
I
chance.
think I had to pull up one of the
You
previous
heard
ones.
him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
She's right. What he said now is really odd. How do you know something like that?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit
Well,
because
content creators probably
it
play Among
matched
Us.
the one the culprit
Yeah.
was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
Oh, I think I see
No
where it
way.
is.
Not a chance.
I'm going to
You
reset
heard
my
him,
boat,
right?
though.
What? First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his
Shoot
way
that
to
out
go
there.
exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Don't tell me it was Mondo.
No, that's wrong.
Don't tell me it was Mondo. I actually kind of
Hold
like
on a
him,
second,
no matter
Mondo.
how much of a prick he
What
can
did
be.
you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said,
Saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assume he headed off to exercise.
she never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you? You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm
sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry? Is that your nickname for Chihiro?
Cherry? Are you
Yeah,
talking
same
about
same
Chihiro?
wavelength right here.
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
How are you doing that with your tongue? I didn't hear that one. How do I have that in here? Hold on a sec. I think I have that coming from... Oh, you heard it? Okay, maybe it's just because the game is fairly loud on my end. Yeah, sound alerts I think I just have in my audio section. There it is. I'll turn that up just a little bit more so I can actually hear it. I heard the others, but maybe the music is too loud. I'll turn it down on my end a bit. All right.
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
There's no duffel bag.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into a bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
and when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag.
I just have to respond back to my supervisor about getting a ride in the morning, which I don't need anymore. They got woodpecker or chameleon tongue. Yeah, like that tongue just in a big swirl like that. Like I swear the tongue just changes length as the artist needs it to.
If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
What that tongue do though? I mean, if she wasn't crazy.
It would appear you dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, he got jebaited.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That fucking stare, though.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why, though?
But why? What made you so
Same brain cell.
suspicious?
That's a good question.
Maybe the way he was acting? No, the way he talked then. Clearly something I missed. Maybe it was something I would have remembered if I had done the trial right after doing the previous section. Dang old spiral tongue technique. It's the
There was a
like
certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently.
Right, because you said bro. Tongue probably wraps around their skull like a woodpecker. Oh, gross. I forgot about that. Why'd you have to remind me?
You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively
I mean,
frightful.
I noticed that detail as well last session. I forgot about it. But I just figured that he was using it in like a gender neutral way of like, dude. Because I know lots of people who do that.
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Maybe because you are one?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
Oh, right, yeah, they totally got the bromance going on. Almost forgot about that.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
What's with this guy suddenly getting deep voice randomly?
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
And he's got nothing.
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
What a dingus. This is a cool guy voice. Yeah, but like, even I can't go that deep. One of those evidence. Bro, just get all the way off my back. Yeah. Get all the way the fuck off my back.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
That's probably Chihiro's missing handbook. Found on the ground, right? It must belong to Chihiro.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
No.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
Monokuma specifically said that there's only one vulnerability they have.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Oh! Hitting Monokuma right in the ego.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere?
Try charging them.
How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbook break? There's only one possible. By hitting its weak points. For
You
massive
already told us
damage.
before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that?
Of course I do.
Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
Ooh.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands.
He's a
but
sub?
You're sure you won't follow their example?
Monokuma just wants
Then
to be
allow
domed.
me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally
Little beta bear. Yep. Ooh.
I flippin' knew it! You knew it? Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh?
200 degrees? Are you fucking serious? Is that Celsius or Fahrenheit?
It's
Either
because
way.
As your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
Maybe Mondo accidentally broke his handbook and needed to get it replaced?
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
Unless Leon figured out how to actually break it and told Mondo.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Oh, you know what's coming, Taka. You know what's coming. That'd be the one who wore all their clothes in the sauna. It was...
Here's my answer.
It was Taka specifically went in with the
Mondo,
towel.
Your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Because you know it's right.
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember?
Pro be vibrating. Yeah.
And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on.
I like how he has a towel on his hair.
But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
They went in there for quite some time and for quite some hot temperatures.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt. What did I find? Make your arguments. Cap goes off. Broken e-handbook, Chihiro's e-handbook, and card reader.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
That might be it. I'll go one round through
See?
it.
Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
He totally would. He's a gang member. Is that the guy from JoJo? I don't know. I've never... Screw that. Actually, be true. Yeah. I've never watched JoJo.
If what he says is correct,
Can't get into it.
then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
I missed.
See? Look! Makoto was
I guess
wrong
I just
after all!
probably turn around and
Mondo wouldn't hurt a
bonk
fly!
Chihiro with his corncob hair. Yeah. Right, I had to go through this one more time. I had to actually slow it down, otherwise the text moves
Let's test
out of the way too
Makoto's
fast.
assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
You said get a
In
few
other
seconds
words,
back.
If Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Yeah, it is.
No, that's wrong.
Break.
Mondo,
Same,
the
which is
handbook you
memes.
have right now,
Yeah.
is it really yours?
I find the memes are overdone and honestly kind of annoying, but that's just me.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own.
Makes sense.
After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
No, because he's not loaning it to anyone, and Leon's isn't being loaned because he's dead.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting.
Don't look at the only thing you see is from JoJo. Yeah, I mean, JoJo memes are kind of everywhere.
As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch.
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Are you sure about that, bro?
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Finish the thoughts. All right. Packing up. See Celeste. Celeste sees that bag. Chihiro packs it away. We get there. Swipes in. Sees Mondo, who is working out. Picks it up and bonk it a donk donk. Probably the bloody one. Poor Chihiro. Rolls up the carpets. Takes down the poster. Picks up Chihiro, then goes to the girls' room. Swipes in. Puts up the poster, lays Chihiro down. Swaps the two rooms. Sound like Chihiro. They have Hifumi's cool guy voice there. Should be Chihiro going to the boys' room instead of the door handle turn. But you know, purple is like some kind of sensor. I think it's some sort of sensor. Going all the way over here. Yeah, that's probably it. You're right. Going to the boys' room. Yeah, that's a good call. And this would be the handle turn. Or could be the handle turn. Now, how did Byakuya get in there? Went in there with the cord. Strapped her up. Wrote Bloodlust. Grab the book, the e-handbook, and toss it in. Cat, you're in the way. Oh no! Approach the sauna. Guess that's the e-handbook falling to the floor, broken. Let's try that.
Killer is you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag.
Clink.
That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he. Which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him.
Oh no. What did I get wrong? Or maybe blood splatter for evidence.
Here's exactly what happened. And attacked him.
Yeah.
And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from.
These faces on these like stand-in characters are crazy.
The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
Got something wrong there. Put the poster up. I think I had that right from the
Here's
start.
exactly what happened.
Pop up.
After all, Sayaka using one of those.
I got it right.
And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
Dun dun dun.
That could have been the end of things, but no.
Byakuya had to be a fucking prick.
Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated.
For no reason whatsoever.
So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna.
Why would he have to put the handbook in the sauna? I'm guessing the incinerator would get hotter than the sauna, wouldn't it?
There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook.
Unless he wasn't the one on incinerator duty this week.
And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook.
I guess if he already knew that, it could be that he assumed it was the heat and moisture. Who knows?
And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Wait! No! This can't be right! Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence?
Ryder just didn't want to overuse the incinerator. Yeah, probably.
You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
That's not how this works here, buddy. We don't make the rules. Monokuma does. Evidence that Mondo's the killer, that already revealed itself earlier in the trial. I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now. Once I do that, everything will become clear. New elements be added to bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Sure. So I think the 200 degrees was actually in Celsius. I don't know. It's like a little bit about fever time and nega time. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push right, left, however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got to act special time, right? So we've also prepared something called Negatime that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates Negatime during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you activate your FIFA time at this point, no, never mind. Sure, nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use Negatime. Well then, good luck, have fun. I think I have mine set to normal, because I got noise, so.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen.
I have to, double marker, rhythm, you can eventually put a combo. As you continue match with rhythm, you'll have the chance to lock an enemy statement, and attack is left. Reload is tab. Reload bullets. Each button press will reload one bullet. Okay.
I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen.
Fuck you.
Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
Tries to Negatime me. Naggy time. Yes.
My thinking so far is right. Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
It's ratio plus X to doubt the character.
Yeah. Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
His intense, jittering picture doesn't really match the tone of his voice. He sounds remorseful right now. Yay, got A's across the board. And that equals 83 medals? Okay.
Bro, what are you
It's a
saying?
mistrial.
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
Sussy Williams, now you're following. Are you the same Williams from earlier that I had to time out because you're abusing the sound alerts? I guess we will see.
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank. Who will you elect?
See,
as
that's
the
an appropriate
Blackened
time to
this
actually
time
use the
around?
sound alerts.
Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
And we don't actually have to vote. It just votes for us. I believe in the third game, you actually choose who you vote for. Yeah, he can be dead. Rosa's corncob hair as punishment. Just see it all pop. Uh-oh. This time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mono Owada! In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. Popcorn dough. Butter time. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way he could kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? 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 Why'd you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is a sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text. We're going through it. Anyway, there was once a young boy. His name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like this as long as he could remember. He couldn't overcome his weakness. I'm surprised Toko didn't interject with a story about two men. I'm thinking that others can't interject right now. On the contrary, he decided to hide himself and buried himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now, nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex he had already taken root deep inside of him, and he was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak. Weak. Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. Which, of course, included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, and your armor would fade away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But...
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used a thread of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, it'll be okay. It'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yeah, it sure was! The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was a very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he... I don't think that line is labeled correctly. So he decided to ask Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, this must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep it a secret?
Because
if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand! I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you... Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible! Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone?
You're wrong!
Impossible! His oozing face is so gross. Yes, it is. Also, sucks that you lost all your points.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother! Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraffs across the country tremble. But the only reason he had a chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's big brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. Clotheslined him off his bike with his hair. Wow. He wanted to measure up his big brother, so he imitated in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number one in the gang. And his number two, his younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. Daya is my favorite non-dairy cheese brand. Just self-hydrating there. Kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created a gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya! Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win. Win. Mondo kind of looks like an armadillo from the front. Yeah, maybe.
Don't fuck with me.
His hair still looks like corn on the cob. I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly, truck con! Perfect timing. Lying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang, in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. As a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose... Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie had become truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, would have all been for nothing. So that's why... Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness. Hey, Vera! Welcome on in! Oh, I skipped by accident. I apologize. I will go back to that in a moment. Welcome in, Raiders! Shut up for Vera. Merely Love. Baka Vera Raid. Yes, konnichiwa. So, for those who do not know, Virachi is a adorable orange fairy VTuber. She's a fairy from an orange. And anytime I'm in her stream, which she started like 15 minutes before I started today. Anytime I'm in her stream, that's the redeem I do first. Aw, thanks, Vera. Yes, I am also one of Vera's mods. Although she hasn't been able to stream much lately, I still love seeing when she can stream. So yeah, definitely go give her a look. She is a very adorable and say-so fairy who has an amazing singing voice. So definitely go give her a look. For viewers from Vera's stream, first off, greetings. I'm Morgan Titian. I'm a changeling VTuber. You can see over on the right there, those are all the different forms I can take on, in addition to my default form, which I don't have on right now, and this special form for Danganronpa streams. Perfect segue into Danganronpa. It is a game with fairly intense themes, so if that's not something you can handle, no issues whatsoever. I more than appreciate just you guys being able to come by and raid and say hi, but take care of yourself first. We're actually at a point in the game where we're about to see an execution. So it's it does show blood and stuff like that. I'm not sure what this guy's execution is going to be, but it does show death and execution. So if that's something you can't handle, then thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you in the future, because this isn't all I stream. Big spoiler, second trials always hurts. Yes. So that's the other thing too. I'm going through this mostly blind. I know very few spoilers about the first game. So please, no spoilers in chat. And thank you for following Demon Venom Gamer. Welcome to the encounter. You are now a mimic. Because that's what everyone is in my chat. They're a group of mimics. And I'm the changeling. But yeah, so definitely do feel free to stop by. I stream every Wednesday and Sunday with the series, All Stupid Feels. Yeah, I have seen the third game played by another streamer, and that's what actually got me into Danganronpa. And but I have not played through or seen the first two games. So I'm playing through those two games blind, and I will be playing the third as well eventually, but I do know most of the spoilers on that one. But yeah, I do hope people can stop by again if you're not able to stick around for this stream. Yeah, if you do want to stick around, we are about to go into the execution for the second class trial. If you haven't seen these games before, there will be spoilers, obviously. And if anybody needs me to, I can give a quick recap of what just happened. That being said, we're about to switch back over. Make sure I am actually clicked off the game. Because my shortcut key for... Oh, excuse me. That came out of nowhere. My shortcut key for changing scenes also happens to have control in it, which accelerates the game, and I've done that a couple times. Oops. So we'll just have to go back and look at the chat history. And here we are. Mondo is saying, Cat, you are in the way. Yes, I have a cat, and he gets in the way. Oh, this blue screen is making me look fairly pale. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled with kind of fuzzy uneasiness. It just started swirling around. Never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. Wasn't sure what to think or to say. But after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. Cat is not in the way. All is cats. Cat being cat. Yeah, exactly. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me all this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Huh? Because, I mean, you kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I want to change. Wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. Felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am,
What?
I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I'd never had. So I was jealous of him. That jealousy broke me.
What?
You making
What?
fun of me? I'm strong? Are you fucking with me right now?
No.
Oh, by the way, there's swearing in this game. I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. Felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. It's your corn on the cob haircut. That's what's creaking. It's under all the weight. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to sit back, let my secret get revealed, and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all that? You trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a
And
bitch!
stronger than Daya! I don't remember anything after that. I woke up again, and he was lying at my feet, covered in blood. Right? Chihiro's so adorable. I had the dumbbell in my hand, just staring at him, down on the ground. Hey!
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it! Look at him! You see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Not gonna lie, I was hoping Togami was murdered. Right? Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't. You bastard! Just shut up, you son of a bitch! Go ahead, say that again, I dare you!
Yep.
Okay, I'll say as many times as I want. Is what I want to say. But unfortunately, I can't do that right now. Because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader. No, wait!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I said wait!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Mondo has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. I'm gonna be dragged behind like 1,000 bikes or something. The fuck is on Monokuma's head? Cage of Death. fuck did the body go? What? He turned him into butter? Yeah, I don't blame everyone's reactions. He just turned a living being into butter. The fuck? How does that even work? Well, I guess we gotta continue. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. It can't be. My brother. Another murder. Another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. Does it taste good? I'm not willing to try it. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. Of course he had to. What, a disappointment? Is this is the end of the game? Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead! Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is our life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response, except that.
However.
I just don't want to understand why. Why do you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. Chill me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So, you ignore the nighttime rule too? That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please, continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. What? Do you mean he actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't even have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? Togami lives in a society. No, he doesn't. He should be ousted from society. I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So, after hearing about the genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene?
But...
Damn, man. You hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me right in the eye. Could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for. What?
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey,
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next.
you...
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know, this is punishment. This despair is not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I'm not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean? 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 Mean?
What the heck?
Mean. Good grief. I don't understand why you have to pick apart every stupid little thing. Whatever. It doesn't matter. If Togami saw the murder, then he's technically an accomplice, so he can be punished too. They addressed that in the first class trial. 1 second. Some of these voices really strain my throat a bit, but I'm getting better at long-term use of them. They addressed it in the first trial. Only one person is the blackened, the person who actually does the killing. Somebody else can like bait somebody into, somewhere to get killed or assist in some way, but if they don't actually kill themselves, they are not the blackened. Of course, in normal cases, there'd be no reason to do that, because that means if the blackened got away with it, then the person who assisted would die too. Oh no, there's only ever one blackened. And it also doesn't make sense for somebody who's trying to kill someone else to get assistance, knowingly anyways, because then that person could out them immediately. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh,
I'm a noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me? I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Togami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled
Ooh,
up.
so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Ooh, temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Monokuma's laughter pealed across the courtroom. The curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew this wasn't the end. Killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It's the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All our courage, our effort, our friendship, felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It's the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot.
Who's this Joker?
Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring?
What?
Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it.
Yo, it's One Punch Man. Yeah.
Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
So there's a collaborator. There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Why would anyone want to know your measurements? Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh. My, you really took me by surprise.
There's 16?
There.
I mean, there were 16 spots at the first class trial, but there was only 15 students at the start. And, hold on. Yeah, participation is mandatory for all surviving students. So there's somebody out there that's breaking one of the rules if there is a 16th student. They're cheating.
I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Wow. So that 10 surviving students isn't accurate. There's actually 11. I got the crazy diamond present. Cool. It's probably blood-soaked. Or butter-soaked. Someone's crying. Oh, it's Owie.
I know I shouldn't cry.
Can I show this on Twitch?
But
Hopefully.
I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. Getting out of here anytime soon. It's impossible. I can't let myself think about how much I want to get out of here. If I keep thinking like that, I might decide to.
Yeah, that's a reaction that most people would have to that. Oh dear. Oof, just sweating a little bit here, and just Twitch, look away. Donuts. I need to eat some donuts. That'll cheer me up. Glazed donuts, twisty donuts, jelly donuts, cream-filled donut holes, masaladas.
Okay.
Oh god of donuts. I'm praying for a wonderful encounter. She's joining the encounter? I'm sorry. Please forgive me for breaking the nighttime rule. But right now, for me, donuts are absolutely necessary. The hell? The flip is that?
Huh?
It sounds like it's coming from the bathhouse?
But
I'm super scared, but... Is someone there? The fuck? Is that Chihiro? The morning after the conclusion of the second-class trial, everyone met in the dining hall, just like always. And just like always, Byakuya is not here. I expected to start like any other day. That's what I expected, but Today's count kind of sucks, huh? Toko and Byakuya still refuse to show up. And I haven't seen Miss Asahina anywhere. She said her stomach was hurting, so she's taking it easy in her room for today.
Oh.
That's rather unusual for her. Normally she is so full of energy. Which is exactly what makes me worry.
So then...
So it's just the 7 of us. Looks that way.
How about that?
Sounds like this, where the committee chairman needs to get things going with a bang! Yeah, I don't think he's doing that.
Impossible.
Or not. Taka hasn't said a word since everything that happened yesterday. One look at his face showed he hadn't slept a wink last night. It's because of Mondo. The two of them became so close when he finds out Mondo killed Chihiro. And then having to watch Mondo get punished. Nothing he could do about it. Can't even imagine what that must have done to him.
Well...
So, I mean, what's gonna happen now? We haven't found any way out. We have no idea if help's ever gonna come. Now I'm all depressed just thinking about it. We simply have to make the best of things. Do our best to get along and live here together in peace. Forget about the outside world and accept this new life. That is the only hope we have now. What? Live here forever?
Well...
Here we have every convenience. We have food, clothes, every need is seen to. Why are you dissatisfied? In fact, let me ask you this. What is it about the outside world that you long for? Really called in sick to a murder game. Yeah. Competition, discrimination, victimization, and violence. As society grows, so does its perversion. In which case, in our current situation, not... Demon angel, pretty pudgy princess.
Huh?
Huh?
Here we go.
Meggy, the drill shop owner, the bunny ear Amazon, cat girl dog boy, Robo Justice, a galactic king. And what I mean is, there's no TD here.
There is nothing to be done.
The mastermind puts such base desire to their advantage, bending you to their will.
You know?
Okay, well, anyway, since Taka's like catatonic, as the oldest one here is officially stepping up to take the lead. So, we're all gonna work together and spend the rest of the day searching the school. Searching?
I'm right.
Well,
right?
I mean, since class trial is over and all,
Perhaps.
there should be new places for us to investigate. Yeah, that's the ticket. Maybe we'll find some kind of clue this time.
Well then.
Then, once we're done eating, let's split up and begin looking around. Do you have any problem with that, Celeste? There may be a discovery waiting for us, which may further enrich our life here. I love Celeste, even as she destroys her dreams. Yeah. She's definitely a character. But, I mean, she's also known as the ultimate gambler. The exact opposite of my Ariamea form. I'll switch over briefly. Well, I have to Alt-Tab first, because if I don't, then I skip. But if you look over there on the right, you're really just losing all the coins. Maybe I have to adjust it again. Like, I didn't adjust it that much, and now you're losing everything rather than winning up to 100k. But over on the right, the purplish tiefling that's over there, Ariamea, that's one of my forms, and each of my forms does have a backstory, and part of hers is she loves gambling. Like, you bet her for just about anything, and she'll likely take it. The thing is, she sucks at gambling. Like, royally. She can't, win anything to save her life. Her luck is abysmal. She's got a terrible poker face. Like, she just sucks at it. Yet she's, like, absolutely addicted to it. That's why she has to be an adventurer. She has to go earn money to be able to gamble some more. Switch it back here. No. The point is to look for clues. And just as we're starting to come out, she barged in and ruined the conversation.
You called for me, so I appeared.
Why are you popping out all the time now? Nobody called for you. How come it's Genocide Jill and not Toko? Yes! God, this place is just amazing! Finally, a place that could be my murderous self! Which is why I've decided to stop holding back and spread my wings. No more hiding in a cave from me. Plus, I have another battle to fight. The whole killer with a split personality thing is so overdone. I gotta destroy that stereotype. I'll fight all day and all night to murder those totally slanderous cliches with this very wiggly and twirly tongue that changes length all the time. But you are a killer with a split personality. If she weren't here, my chances of survival would go up at least 10%. So she's Carrie Packer, but not good at gambling. I don't know who Carrie Packer is. Oh, come on, you gotta back me up here. Even the biggest stars need the little people hold them up. I'm not doing that laugh, because that would destroy my throat. Well, whatever else we do today, first we should eat. Can't do anything on an empty stomach. You're right. Let's hurry up and eat so we can start our investigation. And you shut up. So we're forced to eat breakfast with a murderer. And after our much needed but very annoying meal, we set to work looking around the school. Okay, we actually have control of things again? Maybe. Yes. Perfect. Alright. So I'll save the progress there. Super rich billionaire who gambled a lot. Okay. Might have to look that up. But, well... see, the thing is, Arya is not super rich. She gambles a lot, but she can't hold on to her money at all. Any money she does get, she either gambles away or sends it back to her family. Any hoozle. Switch on back. I'll mute that. And I'm just going to close out the game so I don't have the music in my ear while I'm saying goodbye to everybody. Because it is the end of the night for me. I can only do those voices for so long. Before it just gets too much for my throat. Which it does feel like it's getting to that point right now. I'll turn off the dynamic lighting. So yes. So we just finished, obviously, as you guys just saw, the second class trial. Honestly, I hated that one. Because up until that point, Chihiro was my favorite character. And now she or he is dead. Oh, and Stillborn, just in case you didn't, you were like AFK for it or something like that. The whole reason why Chihiro was cross-dressing is because he was always, talked down to, or, just everyone was always disappointed in him and whatnot about being so weak despite being a guy. And not for any reason of being transgender or anything, but he decided to lean into it and, cross-dress specifically for the purpose of, well, if everybody thinks I'm a girl, then they're not going to, make fun of me or tease me or anything about being so weak as a guy type thing. Yeah. So, and, I do know a little bit of extra spoilers. I don't know if they're actually going to get into it in the game. So if this is spoilers to anyone, close your ears for the next minute to 2 minutes. But if you do want to listen in, Chihiro, it's revealed through some other story that we've gone through. Chihiro's dad was also a programmer, and that's how Chihiro learned their programming stuff. They picked apart their dad's programs. So Chihiro's dad was fully supportive of Chihiro. He was always supportive, really encouraged Chihiro to learn more programming. So his dad was supportive. It was, everybody else around him, people in school, teachers, fellow students, anybody else in his life that always really, gave him a hard time. And that's why he decided, it's like, it's better if I just cross-dress. He didn't identify as a girl, but it was easier. And I think that's almost similar to, in a way, to people who are any part of the LGBT community, whether they're transgender, gay, bisexual, whatever. Especially a few years ago, it's a little bit less common now, but it still happens now, where they're still in the closet, as the term goes. They feel it's better to pretend to be normal because that gets them teased less, or threatened less, because people are threatened for being LGBT, and it's not right. So I guess that can be kind of similar and bring to light that, nobody should ever have to feel that they have to, normal in quotes, because nobody's ever normal, but socially accepted normal, I guess I could say. But at the end of the day, nobody should feel like they have to act or pretend or express as something that they're not, just to fit into society. Like, Chihiro should never have had to cross-dress to feel like they fit in. People who are, say gay, the big one right now, or in the past, was, especially men who were gay would go on to have, a family. They would have a wife, they would have kids and whatnot, and they would take the secret almost to their graves, because they felt, society made them feel ashamed for who they were. And it was, they viewed it as better to just pretend. And that's not right. No matter which way you're looking at it. Whether it's, a guy cross-dressing as a girl just to get teased less, or, a gay guy that's pretending to be straight, a gay woman pretending to be straight, anybody who's bisexual is just sticking with one gender, anybody who's transgender sticking with their assigned gender at birth, because it's too difficult for society to accept them as what they feel they should be, and people have the right to choose what they should be. So it's a little bit different, but also a little bit the same. And I really think society should change for the better in that regard. Anyways, deep subjects aside, maybe a better discussion for longer term in the Discord or something like that. But, I think the world is changing, and it needs to change a bit faster. Anyhoozle, I think now is the perfect time to go find somebody to raid. That is not my Twitch look. Oh, hey, would you look at that? I see myself in another Twitch window. I wonder who could have possibly raided me that I was lurking in earlier. All right. So, who do we got online? Okay, I think this is just perfect. So, I do know Dimension Eliana is streaming Doki Doki Literature Club right now, but I've raided into her somewhat recently, and we had a collab with her just the other day. So, I'm going to instead choose Space June, who is playing Nancy Drew's Shadow at the Water's Edge, which is another detective-like game. Might not involve murders like Danganronpa does, but you still do investigations and find out mysteries, so I think that's perfect. So I'm going to make sure that my game sounds are muted. There we are. I don't want to get like echoing audio or anything like that going on. And I go over to her stream to make sure that she's good for a raid. It looks like she is. Perfect. So I'm going to set up the raid here. We're going to raid Space June. All one word. Perfect. And there's the raid message. Feel free to add any emotes that you would like. It's just a changeling raid, because we are changeling. Or I am a changeling, and we are mimics. I'm going to take us over to the ending screen. So as always, I hope everybody had a great time, and I do hope to see you again. thank you so much to everybody who stopped by, whether you're active or if you're lurking. It's all appreciated. I do hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend, in Sunday mode. I hope you have a good rest of your week. It is midway through, hump day, Wednesday, all the different words for it. I hope you have a good time with Space June, and I do hope to see you guys again. Take care.